We live, man. What up, y'all? It is AG33, and I'm back for this 6 months of seed retention, what I learned and the benefits video. First of all, I would just like to thank everybody for that 100-day video I did. It did pretty well. And I thank everybody for all the comments and all the new subscribers that came from that video, man. So y'all go ahead and rock with me on this one, and we gonna get on into it, man. So golly, it's gonna be just like the last one, man. My connection tripping again. But check it out. So 6 months, man. It was a long time. That is probably the longest since I was like a little kid that I've ever did retention before, man. And I ain't gonna lie, it was life changing. It was life changing. I think everybody needs to do it. Everybody should do it at some point in time in their life. I'm gonna do that again. You know what I'm saying? Another 6 months. Like I stopped at 6 months. I went and had sex. But it's like yeah, like that it changed so much. Like my body changed. Like I got super duper focused in the gym, man. Literally, I it's like I matured in my mind more. Like it was just a crazy experience. And like I was saying in the last video, man, what did they say in the Bible, man? Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And my mind was renewed through my retention experience. I'm back on my grind. I'm about to hit 2 weeks on like Sunday, and I'm about to probably go for another. I don't even know what my goal is this time. I think this is just a lifestyle thing now. Like I'm just gonna be retaining until I bust down somebody. Like that's just what it's gonna be. So yeah, I mean, but real talk though, like the amount of mental change that happened to me is the biggest thing that I would say is a benefit from this experience. The fact that like my mind just started expecting more out of me. My mind started coming to understanding of what it is to be a man and what it is I expect out of myself as a man. And it's almost like I matured past my age. Like I just feel more like an adult in the mind. Like it made me want to work harder. It made me want to strive for more. And I don't know what it is exactly about retaining and transmuting that sexual energy that does this to your mind, but it did wonders for me. And of course, also, throughout the whole process, I was meditating and praying and just doing all kinds of different spiritual practices that also help to raise your vibration and transform you. But I would definitely say that it is necessary. Like through 6 months is a long time, and when I look back on it, it is just astounding to me that I made it that far that way. I'm not gonna lie, for anybody who has never done it before, it's gonna start to feel normal to you. Like during that process, it started to feel normal to me. It started to feel just like how life was. Like I'm not gonna. It got easier at points. It was kind of like there were ebbs and flows to it. There were times where it was easier, and there was times where it's like, boy, her right there, yeah, I need to you know what I'm saying. So but it rewires your mind on the way you view, sex and everything like that, and your relationship with pleasure, and not just sexual pleasure, just pleasure period. Like it almost makes you a little bit like numb to it for sometimes. Like you don't feel like you just need to do that. And like a lot of people mix the nofap with the retention, and like I haven't done that in over a year. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna lie, like I was in a relationship, and that kind of helped me to stop doing that, because I was just like, why doing that if I have a whole girlfriend? So it was like I just didn't see the point in doing that no more. But also, like, if you have a problem with what I hear a lot of people call PMO, and you're doing that, you're being your meat and all that stuff, like that's something that is going to help you to separate yourself from that type of addiction. If you had that kind of addiction, like you're not going to feel the need to do that every time you get these feelings. You're going to start to understand that it's natural for you to have feelings of arousal. It's natural for you to, you're a man, and you're not going to feel the need to just go do that every time you feel like some sort of arousal. You're going to start to almost understand that energy, and then you're also going to learn how to transmute it, like I said, and go do something with it. Put it into your workouts, put it into to whatever it is that you do. If you're an artistic person, put it into your art. You know, if you're just a worker, a hard worker, or you have a business, put it into your business. And uh it's going to help you to build those things up. Like, it seems that during that 6 month span of retention that I did, I made a lot of progress in a lot of areas of my life. And I just feel like a whole brand new person. I've never had such a exponential period of growth mentally. You know, like I grew so much in the mind. I feel like I'm 100 years older, you know, just the way I think about things, and just the way I've like almost matured about a lot of things. It taught me a lot about myself. You know, it taught me a lot about my patterns. It makes you pay attention to yourself a lot more, because you start to notice, you know, the patterns of your thoughts. The same way with meditation, when you meditate, you kind of get to observe the thoughts that are circulating through your head, you know, as you sit there in silence. And I spoke on that in my last 100-day video about how it's really like a psychedelic experience doing retention. And once you get past, I would say that around that 60 to 90-day mark, it gets very trippy, for lack of a better word. I'm not gonna lie, there were some things I can't really just think of off the top of my head, but there are a lot of things that happen that is just kind of like, what? Like, it seemed like I almost at times it seems like I would have dreams, and they would come to life almost. Like, I would have dreams about certain people that I hadn't seen. They will come up in my life, just all kinds of different things like that. It was just weird. It was like I was more like clairvoyant or something like that. Now, a lot of people would be like, man, he tripping, da 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 da. This just happened with me. I ain't gonna say it's gonna happen with you, but that's what happened with me. And that's happened before without the retention, but it was just like the way things were happening on stacked up on top of each other. You know, it was a very interesting thing. And like I said, it seems very psychedelic. You'll have a lot of energy, to the point where sometimes it'll be hard to sleep. Uh Sometimes, like, you just don't know what to do with yourself. But that's why you have to find things to transmute that energy into. So yeah, so I really, from that 0 to 30 day point, like, you'll get like an initial rise in energy, and it'll be cool. But like, when it starts getting like spiritual and start feeling really psychedelic, it was after that 90-day point. Really, that's when it started just get turning up. You know, it seems like you get a little bit more stoic too. Like, you just have a little more of a calm peace in your mind. You know, you're still a human, and you're still gonna have days where, you know, your emotions are high and stuff like that. But it just seems like, on average, you know, your normal mood is turned up but calm. You know, and I would also say I do certain things like haritaki and stuff like that to clean my body out. But they say that also has a very strong effect on you. It helps to open your third eye, helps to clean out your body. You know, of course I supplement with lion's mane mushrooms. I take mushroom complexes, and I also take kinetic pre-workout that has lion's mane in it. And if you go to ambrosiacollective.com, you can use my discount code ZG33YT and get you a discount on it. And that keeps me turned up. I'm also taking the mental jewels right now, and that just keeps my mind focused. And when you compile that with the retention, man, you know, you just feel unstoppable. So yeah, that was pretty much zero to about zero to that 6 month point, man. After 90 days, it just felt crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I loved it. Like, it just, if there was just a certain intensity to it. And my original goal was 90 days. The first time I set out to do it, I said I was going to do it for 90 days, relapse after like 21 or something like that, when it had sex. And then the second time I did it, I went for basically 6 months. I was like probably like a couple of days short of actual like 6 months. And then, like I said, when it had sex, but I blew my goal out the water, so I wasn't mad at that. And one thing is that it really just taught me the value of it, though. And it's something that I like to stick to because I see how much it affects me. Because after I released, like it seemed like my body wasn't like healing as fast. Like I've been sleeping a lot more. It seems like my body's a little more tired, you know what I'm saying? But eventually, my energy's gonna ramp back up and stuff, and I'm gonna hit back at it. But it's like my body needs to like recover or something like that a little more than it used to. I was doing so much. I was working out for 2 hours at the gym. Sometimes like I would get off work and then I would go straight to the gym. And I just had like unlimited energy, it felt like. And it just seems like things were really going my way. And this is one thing I don't want anybody to get misconstrued. Like a lot of people think that when they release that it's a bad thing, like they're gonna lose all their benefits. No, like just like when you read a book, like just because you stop reading the book doesn't mean you just lost all the knowledge that you got. No, just because you stop retaining doesn't mean that you're gonna lose all the all the information and that you learned, all the downloads, all the new knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and overstanding that you've acquired through your period of retention just because you release. No, you're not going to lose it. You still grew into a new person. Just like fasting, when you fast and you're fasting, say you're fasting for spiritual reasons, just the act of fasting, is an offering. You know what I'm saying? Just the fact that you know retain that long and abstain that long is an offering. So don't ever feel like it that you failed, or that that you're just going to lose everything. Now, on the scientific side of things, like when they say that you have a lot of nutrients and stuff in there, so yeah, you may feel a little tired and stuff like that, but that'll come back over a little bit of time. Um, but yeah, don't ever feel like just because you relapse that everything that you gain like mentally and spiritually is just gone, because it's not. So it's something that, like I say, I recommend that you do, especially if you call yourself being a person who wants to improve. If you call yourself being a spiritual person and you want to raise your vibration, or get deeper spiritually, it's definitely something I would try. Or if you just want to get a boost in productivity, it's something that I would try. Because it seems like it really helps with the recovery aspect. Like it seems like you bounce back so much quicker. Like you can just keep going and going and going and going, as opposed, like, you may have the energy to do the task, but then when you have to recover and go do it again, it seems like you just have more, like you recover better. That's one thing that I noticed. uh my recovery was just so much quicker. But also, it's like you just want to go through the experience too, the discipline. It's almost like, it just reminded me when I was on retention, I was like, this like in the Bible, and he was in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like doing something like that. Like, think about it, bro. Like, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Like, once you discover being your meat, like it never stopped. You know what I'm saying? From when you was a young until, you know what I'm saying, like it's always going on. Even before you was maybe going to go have sex, you was finna beat your meat. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like that's something that like every day, like people is releasing. So for you to go even 30 days without releasing, or 60 days, or 90 days, and then getting off into the half a year, man, it's an accomplishment. So it's definitely something I would want to go further with. I would like to go a whole year. I went a half a year, and now my next step is only to go a whole year. And then there's people who said they've gone 3 years. And of course, I would like to learn how to not release and still be able to, participate in sex, because then I could probably retain for even longer than that. Because if I can have sex and not release, then of course I'll be able to retain for a lot longer of a period of time. But yeah, it's definitely a very intense journey. It's a psychedelic journey to me, because I've done psychedelics. But one thing that I've found though is, like, when you feel like you got it, you're gonna get tested. Because I ain't gonna lie, that happened to me when it felt like I was like, boy, I got this. Like I'm not gonna release da 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 da. That's when you gonna get tested. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like, and a lot of people will be like, "Oh, Jezebel spirit, da 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 da." It could just be a manifestation of your own lust coming to test you. Like, oh, you think you got it? You think you know you with this, you about this retainer life? You know what I'm saying? Like you, okay, we'll see what happens if I send this person or this person. Like, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I'm still, either way it goes, I'm still proud that I was able to do it for 6 months, man. And I'm still on it. Like I said, this is just gonna be like a life thing now, like period. Like like, even if I were to get married or something, like I would want to still like practice retention like from time to time, whether it's like weekly or bi-weekly or something like that, like, or just to the point where I don't have to release or anything, you know. And I said that when I have children, I want to retain for like a certain amount of time, and then, you know, procreate. Like I want to retain, and then, you know, let my seed reach its full maturity or whatever, and then, you know, start procreating. That would be interesting for sure too. I wonder how that has an effect on the child. I've always thought about things like that. And that's another thing that's crazy too. Like I started thinking about like having a family and children after retaining. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older. I'm gonna be 28 this year, but I was like, yeah, like I want to have like a family and children. I don't know if that had anything to do with retaining, but is I never really felt that way completely. I was always kind of like, yeah, I don't really know how I feel about all of that, the marriage and the kids and stuff. Like I think I just want to be a bachelor my whole life. But I started thinking about stuff like that, like, boy, like I wouldn't mind having a family. And like now it's to the point where it's like, yeah, I kind of do want to have a family and children. You know what I'm saying? The right way. Because I don't have any children right now. So like that just goes to show you that like your mind does a lot of like healing and changing and growing, you know, through the process. And if you've ever fasted before, like I said this in my last video, when you fast, man, it makes you more connected spiritually. So, you know, this is like a fast in itself. You know what I'm saying? It's a different kind of fast. You know, you're abstaining sexually. Like you're not looking at, you know, things you ain't supposed to be looking at. You're not playing with yourself. You're not participating in sex, you know what I'm saying, for that whole span of time. And you're really just, you know, tapping in to the Most High. You tapping into yourself and learning more about yourself and learning more about life. So yeah, this is, you know, I just wanted to get that to y'all in this video, man. I appreciate everybody who subscribed to the channel off of my last 100-day video. I also did a 30-day and a 60-day video, so check that one out. I don't know how good it's gonna be, how good those are, or if they liked it, because they gravitated to the 100-day one for whatever reason. So I appreciate everybody for checking it out though and commenting. And I hope y'all tap into my other videos too, man. And that's all I got for this video, man. It's AG33. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out.